feel like I'd rather deal with any kind of woman versus any kind of man for the most part. Like, because if the man decides to tee off, like, it is a worse situation for you. Like, he can do more damage.
If I bash the man with my nightstick, everybody's gonna say, "Well, he was coming right at you." If I bash Shaniqua with my nightstick, it's gonna be a bad look.
That's true. They're gonna have an unflattering photo of you on.
What am I gonna say? No, but you don't understand. She's one of the big ones. Like nobody wants to hear that in court.
Jimmy the Greek moment.
I thought she was a man. Yeah, and girls too. Like, you know, I grew up in a public school. It's pretty rough, and like, you know, guy fights. There's always a lot of bowing up chests and posturing and trash talking. And girls would just come off the ropes throwing hands. Like, there was no hesitation. It was just melee. Like, they did not hesitate to get it on. And a
lot of scratching, hair pulling. Yeah. I don't think perhaps not as much honor as the boys when they're squaring up. The girls are yanking and pulling and scratching and biting. I don't think, like, two guys fighting, if you see someone bite, the guy that does the bite, the rest of forever, you're like, are you the guy that fucking bit Alan? That's fucking insane, dude. What were you thinking? Like no one would be down with that, even if you technically. And if someone bit me in a fight, I'd lose that fight because I'd start going. I'd start spazzing. I don't want to get bit.
Look, I would not like to fight someone who bites. I wonder how effective it is. I really do. Like a big strong man biting you. Like Taylor biting you?
I bite your ass. They're gonna have to do that thing where they're sticking, like, it's long after the fight's over and you're laying on the pavement and a cop is trying to put a bar in between my teeth.
Someone put their finger up your ass to make you release.
We keep hitting them in the head, but these things are unstoppable, man. They're just ridiculous.
Once they lock down.
That felon fights video where the one guy was a fighter. You've seen it too, Kyle?
Yeah,
it's wild. Yes. Like, they interview him ahead of time, and he's like, "I'm crazy," and he starts doing that during the fight, and he's biting him. And the guy's like, he's looking at the organizers of felon fights as if they're going to be like, you know what? We're not really fighting with honor. No, that's not what happened at all. He's like, "Help me! Help! He's biting! Help!" And the felon fights people aren't doing anything to break it up. Biting, I guess, is fair in felon fights, and he has bite marks on his cheek from it.
Bad ones.
Yeah,
brutal.
Oh, do you know how many antibiotics you need after a homeless guy bites you in a street fight?
All of them. I sent that's the link. That's an 8-minute video, and they had.
You found it that fast?
Oh yeah, and so, like, the beginning of it, of course, like, he's sitting there, he's like, "I'm a bad motherfucker," you know, he's like hyping himself up. But then the fight starts, and that one guy is just a goddamn chimpanzee. He's just a wild man. I think this might be the one where they start with sticks at first.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the beginning of the fight is armed combat. They each have a stick.
This is such an insane video, dude. White skinhead versus the Karate Kid. Who do you think wins?
Is this like a bum fights thing back in the day or something?
Mm-hmm. But it's felon fights. These guys are all ex-cons. If you fast forward to 440, it's pretty great. The kid who thought he was tough, no. The other guy grabs his stick and starts beating him with his own stick while, like, pretty much having disarmed the other. And it's not going to get better. Oh my gosh.
I can tell from the tattoos, this he's not pretending to be a Nazi.
You know what the best part of it is? You might be, in a tussle. When I watch UFC or whatever, they're often very quiet, especially when we're on the ground. Nobody's like saying anything. The aggressor who's on top and is biting is growling. He's and like trying to find a new bite purchase. It's so scary.
It's at 5 minutes where in the video Kyle link, he found it. This is it.
Oh my goodness. This is so scary.
It's just 5:24. Oh my God.
And you can see him. You're exactly right. You could see him for like the 30-second lead up to it, like grasping with his teeth, trying to get a purchase.
He's got him in like half of an arm and like neck choke, but he's also just grabbing his trachea and like going for face bites. It's so scary. The fight's been over. I don't know why it's continuing after 5 minutes.
Oh, you could see his face afterward. There's like a flesh peel
Yeah,
that's horrible. Now you got to go to the. Now you don't get the 30-pack of Natty Light, and you have to go to the hospital.
558, Taylor. You need to see the victor's glory, his joy, the look on his face.
All right, Zach, go to 5 minutes and 57 or 58 seconds and screen and show us just a still image of the victor's face. Because not only do you get to see his insane look on his face, but you get to see his chompers. And let me tell you, you do not want those things breaking your skin. I see a lot of brown and a lot of yellow. There's that one big one in the front. Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, this guy's like if like a biologist was looking at this guy, he'd be like, these homeless teeth are made for shearing. Like,
makes Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield look tame.
Oh, incredibly tame.
Holyfield, right? He bit Holyfield's ear.
Yeah.
He took a chunk though, to be fair. He did take a chunk.
Oh.
I bet Mike bites hard. I bet he does everything hard.
Yeah.
Did he have his mouth guard in?
That's a good question.
Did he do that damage with the mouth guard in? I don't know.
I wouldn't think so.
No,
he really kind of took the ear off cleanly. And he bit him twice. People always say, yeah, he bit his ear. He did it twice. He did it once and they gave him like a warning and like, hey, don't bite Evander anymore, sir. And then he was like, I'm going to bite him again. And he did. He just bit him. He bit him again. And he took more the second time.
You try and stop me, I'm going to bite you too. That was a little Michael Jackson.
There was a TV commercial in the last year or so, maybe 2 years, with the two of them in it. And I can't remember what the commercial was about, but like literally in the commercial, they're arguing about what Evander's ear tastes like. Like, I don't know how they got them to bury the hatchet or whatever, but it was hysterical. But I can't remember what it was now, but it was just something with like they were promoting something. And it was the two of them like sitting around the fire, like smoking pipes, kind of that sort of vibe. And it just turned into this like, gentleman's debate about the taste of an ear. And it was just so funny that they got him to go there. But
man, how could you have a debate with him about the taste of an ear? Like, you just have to defer. Like, you're right, Mike. I've never tasted one. Certainly never a professional athlete ear.
Is Zach not going to get the video? Maybe he's not watching.
Yeah, we wanted to see the picture of the man just so pleased with himself after having it. And I think
557,
556
timestamp.
556 is where I saw him there with his hands on his head, smiling at the camera.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't have the volume on for it because we're doing this, but I think they were fighting for a case of beer. I said a 30 rack of beer, but it may have not even been that many beers. It was like,
it was beer.
Weren't they fighting for beer, or is that a different homeless battle video I saw?
Well, I told you my ex-con like step uncle, like they used to bare knuckle box for cases of beer in the. That's a scary man.
Scary.
That guy is scary. I wouldn't, dude. You could tell by the casting who was going to win this fight.
Oh my God.
But that guy had some teeth though that were just I mean, that dude could eat corn on the cob through a picket fence with those.
He could. Yeah, that dude. What's the over-under on him still being alive?
Like, that guy's dead. This looks like a digicam. This is an old video.
16 years ago, and it wasn't new when it was uploaded, I'm sure. It's probably a bit old.
No. I watched bum fights back in the day. I actually liked that. I thought that was cool. Of course, I was a nasty 16 or 17-year-old. Now I guess it's pretty sad. But I always talk about the bum hunter, the one guy who would dress up as the crocodile hunter and just pounce on homeless people while they slept in their encampments, tie them up like they were crocodiles with duct tape, and start taking measurements while his assistants dictated. Using an Australian accent, dressed like Steve Irwin. And he looked just enough like Steve that you could buy it.
I mean, compared to what we just watched, that's good-natured fun.
It's true.
That's terrible, though.
That is horrible to do that to a human being, to tackle someone.
I mean, just the thumbnail of this video is him sneaking up on an unsuspecting homeless man without stretched duct tape. It's ghoulish.
I mean, that's horrible, and that's also a good way to get a rusty screwdriver stabbed into your rib cage. You hop on some dude, and he just comes up, because a lot of those guys, they sleep armed.
Yeah,
they should.
The first guy he bothers, Kyle. You could see the homeless guy come out of his like makeshift sleeping bag, like, just he's scared to death because now there's someone with a very bright light shining in his face and saying just nonsense. Crikey, look at the size of this one. How long you reckon he's? Well, that's the thing with them is they grow to the size of their habitat.
Island gigantism.
Yeah,
and that's just
that old.
Yeah, that's just horrible. I mean, you take somebody that's already having a rough go at life, and then you jump on to that to them. That's low down.
I agree. Pretty.
But when I was 16, I was like, dude, you got to see what I got from Video Warehouse. Not gonna
Video Warehouse? You got that? You rented that?
Yeah, I rented it. Where else would you get it? You got it. This is free internet. Well, not pre me having internet that did anything like show bum fight videos.
I would have guessed like
2002.
Old E-Bombs World would have had that or something.
2002, 2003, something like that. Yeah, you could rent that. Faces of Death, all sorts of stuff. We had this. I remember when I worked at the movie store, there was like we didn't have porno, but we did have some there was like this one. It was kind of like a Girls Gone Wild, but it was like a ghetto low rent Girls Gone Wild, and it was like black girls stripping and just handy cam footage of that. And I remember like, I'll see what this is about. I took that home with me one night, and this like bananas and pussies and like lighter fluid on asses and like just it was like bootleg as hell. And we had it right there next to fucking Magnolia.
When I was growing up in very, very rural Georgia back in the 70s and 80s.
What part, by the way? I'm here too.
Kind of near Rome.